Hey YouTube, today on the Yellow Jeep project I'm going to install an E-Autogrilles rear bumper on this 2000 TJ. Let's give it a go. Alright, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and take off this stock rear bumper here and we'll get ready to get that all cleaned up and ready to mount our new bumper. Alright, to remove this bumper we got to remove these two bolts right here, and there's going to be one right down there. There'll be 3 on each side, and we'll get these off and we'll take the stock bumper off. Alright, so this bumper is held on with these 2 mounting brackets. The top of the bumper will bolt on through the top here, and then these bolts here will go through the frame, okay, and we'll take care of that. There's also the bottom brackets that will mount down here, but we'll get to that in a minute. So right now we need to mount these 2 brackets on our bumper, and we'll do that next. Alright, a couple things first. This is the hardware that came with it. It's decent stuff, not too bad, but there's an interesting little quirk with it here. As you put your bracket up here and you put this through, and if you try to tighten down the nylon nut, what you may notice is that you can't even get the nylon to engage in the threads because the bolt's not long enough. So, trip to Home Depot, we pick up these. They're M12 1.75 by 40 millimeter bolts, and they will replace those, and then we'll just put some new ones in there and we'll call that good, and they work out pretty good. Okay, so we have our bracket just kind of mocked up here real quick. Now you could install it with just these 2 bolts. It wouldn't be the best by any means, so we're going to drill over here. We're just going to drill 2 holes in the frame to add 2 more bolts, and that way we can get more stability out of our bumper. So I'm going to mark this over here with my drill bit. Probably not the best marking tool, but it should work. So we'll pull that down and we'll get ready to drill. Alright, we're going to take our step bit now and we're going to bring this up to our bolt size. You can get these pretty cheap at Harbor Freight and they're easy to go through. You can see here where I did some stainless steel and it really tore it up, but it should work for this today. Alright, so I've got our 2 first bolts here just sort of threaded on, basic setup. Now comes the tricky part, because we got to get around to the back side over here. So we're going to take our bolt, a washer. We're going to very carefully, I think I'm going to block that shot right there. Get that through, and then I'll put another washer and the next bolt on, and then let's do one more. Okay, so we got this one, and again I'll try it with this hand, see if I can get a better shot of it for you. It's kind of a balancing act. There we go. Alright, now we will tighten them up. Alright, I got these first 2 tightened. Pretty simple. 19 millimeter socket back here and a 18 millimeter on the bolt. Remember, the bolt here is just the stock one that came with it. Excuse me, the bolt is the new one I got. The nut is the stock one. Now, what we're going to do is we have to try to get these tightened. A little tight back here. So, I'm going to take a 19 millimeter box-in wrench here. And we're going to very carefully put it on the other side of this bolt. I kind of maneuver the bolt here to get it on. And once we get that there, now we're just using the bolt, or the wrench is just using the frame as its leverage point. So it's allowing us to tighten this down with plenty of leverage. We did it. All right, here's our bumper. We're gonna go ahead and start getting it ready to mock it up there. And then we will kind of see how the bolts go and get everything bolted back in. So, next step is to lift it up and let's get it hanging up here. I think my tire's just gonna clear it there, my spare, so we'll see how this goes. All right, now I just have it just kind of hand tight in there. The dumb thing is they sent the bolts for these on top and they're untreated. They're just silver like this, not black. So I'm painting the other ones, the red ones that will go in here in a few minutes, and we're getting those ready to go. In the meantime, I'm gonna take the stock original bolts that go underneath the frame, and we'll go ahead and tighten those up and put those on. Well, nothing's as easy as it always sounds, so these bolts they're gonna work. We just have to drill out the hole on the bracket below because it's just off by just that much, so I can't get these really threaded. So, time to do some drilling. On second thought, I'll take it off and drill it there. Okay, we got the bumper off, so we just need to drill out these little holes right here in the bracket just a little bit so we can get our bits lined up. All right, since we went ahead and drilled some of that powder coat, I'm just gonna go ahead and zap it with a little bit of truck bed coating just to kind of help protect any rust or anything that would happen there. Okay, I got the lower ones tight just enough that we can still move it, but it's kind of ready to go. So here's the hardware. I went ahead and painted it because I don't like obviously the silver sitting up here on top. So we got a lock washer here and then a flat washer, and we will go ahead and try to get these in here carefully. I'm worried that they're not going to be long enough because they don't look long enough. Looks like we could be in the same position as the other bolts, but they are just not long enough. Man, that's just shoddy design. Here's what I wonder, is if I tighten one all the way, then I can get the other one with the lock washer on, then I can loosen the other one and then put that on. So I'm going to try that here and see if I can use these bolts anyway, even though they're a little too short. So we'll try that and we'll come back to here in a minute. Okay, back. So I tightened this one down with the regular nut. Now it looks like I'll be able to get the other one in with a lock washer on. All right, just for reference, I had to actually rig something up here to get all the bolt holes to line up. I used the jack here to lift it so I can get these bolt holes all to slide back so I can get them in the right spot. Now that I have all of them threaded, mostly in, I will go ahead and lower the jack, get it out of the way, and then just crank everything down and tighten it up to spec. All right, now for the last finishing touch here, we're gonna pull off this protector. Got a couple little rubber kind of washers that came. And then we're going to take one of these D-rings here. And we will, oops, goes this way. There we go. Got our D-rings. Now let's take a look at the finished product. All right, so there you have it. You got the E-Autogrilles rear bumper, rock bumper. Pretty nice little setup here when you're all said and done. Can't complain one bit, so pretty happy with the install. Alright, so there you have it. There's the install of our E-Autogrilles rear rock bumper, full size. Not too bad. Some quirks we had to work out, one trip to Home Depot, a jack. Hey, all in all, it looks good, so we'll see how it lasts. I have an E-Autogrilles up front. It looks pretty nice, and it's lasted pretty long for a year, so we'll see how this goes. I think we'll just kind of take it on the trail, and hopefully we'll hit a few rocks with it. Oh, it means we're having a good time. All right, you guys have a great time. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next time.